In this video, we solve the quadratic equation x squared equals 121 by factoring. Now, at first glance, you would think to just square root both sides and get x equals plus or minus 11 and you're done. But because the question asks to solve by factoring, we have to go by factoring. So let's rewrite our quadratic equation, subtracting 121 from both sides, and that gives us x squared minus 121 equals 0. And now x squared is a perfect square, 121 is a perfect square. So the method of factoring that we'll use here is difference of squares. Now let's take a moment to remind you of the difference of squares method. If you have a quadratic expression of this form, x squared minus b squared, hence the difference of squares, you can factor it by writing a plus b times a minus b, where a and b are just the square root of your terms. So in this case, we see that our a squared corresponds to our x squared. So a will equal x. And here we see that our b squared corresponds to 121. And therefore our b equals the square root of 121, which is 11. So that being said, we found our a and our b. We can factor our quadratic expression and write x plus 11 times x minus 11, and that equals 0. Now the left side of the equation has two factors being multiplied, and that product equals 0. We're allowed to use the zero product property and split these into two equations. X plus 11 equals 0 and x minus 11 equals 0. And if we solve each equation, the first equation, x plus 11 equals 0, we subtract 11 from both sides, and that gives us x equals negative 11. And for the second equation, we add 11 to both sides, which gives us x equals positive 11. And these are the solutions to the original question.